talking all about the new Huda Beauty GloWish Luminous Pressed Powder. I actually really like this powder, but not in the way we have seen on social media. The way this product has been marketed, it's almost like a setting powder and a powder foundation. However, really that is not how I like this powder. It can work as a setting powder, but it's quite luminous. And if you have enlarged pores or texture in areas that you're going to set this powder, it's going to become quite visible. So I wouldn't really recommend it as a setting powder. I also don't really like it as a powder foundation. Yes, it has some coverage. Yes, it's long lasting, but it is very luminous. And anyone with texture, anyone with kind of like that really dry, almost scaly skin, if you have enlarged pores, if you have acne, anything like that, and that's going to make or break this product for you. You're either going to love it because of that luminosity, or you're going to hate it because it enhances all your texture. I actually like using this powder just to give my skin some radiance. The shade I also picked up is shade 5 medium. Now shade 5 is a little bit too dark for me. It's gonna work for me really well in summer, but for my NC38, NC40 skin tone, shade 5 is not the right match. It's just a tad too deep. So you may need to go one shade lighter if you are my skin tone. I do like using this shade sort of in that cheekbone area. I quite like using it here. So if I have a foundation that's a little bit too light, I can deepen the look of that foundation by just adding this powder in sort of the outer perimeter of my face, and that's gonna warm my skin a little bit while also giving me a bit of radiance and that glow. One of the things I really enjoyed about this powder is that it works so well under a mask. If you're in an area where you have to wear a mask all the time, it can be a bit frustrating if you have a dewy skin look underneath, because wearing a mask will just remove all that dewiness. Whereas if you're wearing a product like this, you will still have that glow and it will still stay put and it won't just come off with a mask. That way you have that beautiful radiance and glow to the skin without actually any tackiness or dewiness, and mask is not going to take that off. So I love that about this product. The glow that it has is also not glittery or overly shimmery. You just get this sheen, this beautiful luminous look to the skin without getting all the shimmer. So I'm just swatching it for you at the back of my hand here, so you can see the product right there. There is no shimmer that you can see, but absolutely it has a beautiful glow and a beautiful sheen to the product, and that's what it looks like on the skin. It's actually really beautiful. Really enjoying it. Once I got over the whole social media craze, like I have been seeing videos of this all over on Instagram where people are applying this with a damp beauty blender and they're applying it like a foundation, and that's too much. You're going to get a look that's too glowy and too luminous. It's going to enhance all the texture. You really don't need to use this as a powder foundation. So I would say don't rely on the videos that you see on Instagram. Also, I feel like Instagram can be a little bit misleading, because often when you see people put their reels on Instagram and show this product, they're using beauty filters. So what they've done is applied this all over their skin, then they've got a beauty filter that smooths their skin, so you don't see the texture. All you see is this luminosity, and you think, wow, this product is miraculous. Not only does it smooth, but it gives you luminosity. No, they're using beauty filters. Also, if you film from a distance, you're not going to see all the skin texture. So a lot of the time when we see these videos on Instagram, people are filming from a distance. They're really not coming up close to show you that skin texture, and that way the skin looks slightly blurred and you will see the glow, but you won't see the texture. You see what I mean? So just be mindful of what you see on social media. You've got to take it with a grain of salt. My favorite way to use this powder is definitely to give that glow to the skin that is not dewy, it's not tacky, my hair is not going to stick to it, I can wear a mask, and yet it's going to give me this beautiful glow. And what I love about this shade medium is that because it's a little bit deep, I kind of feel like a bronzed goddess, because it gives me that tint of warmth and that glow, and it's just Oh my god, I mean, you can see that, right? It looks so beautiful. So now let's jump into some applications so that you can see what this powder actually looks like. Okay, so this side of the face, we're going to try this powder under foundation, and here I'm going to apply it over foundation so you can see the difference with both. My favorite way to apply this powder is definitely with a slightly dense brush. This is Wayne Goss number 13. If you've got brushes like the Hourglass, this will work really well as well. So I'm not going to go too heavy with application, but I'm going to use however much that I would normally use with this type of product. And then I'm going to apply here. I am going to go in my pore area as well, just so you can see what that looks like. So my pores today are actually pretty good. I'm having a good skin day. They're not screaming at me. So this powder isn't actually going to look bad at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply that right at the top here. So I'm going to apply it here. I am not going to go in the middle. So this is my natural skin with nothing on it but a moisturizer. And then right here we've got the GloWish powder. So you can see straight away that the color is a little bit deep for my skin tone, but it's not too bad. It will definitely work for me for summer. Now I'm just going to spread out my foundation over the area that I covered with powder. So this is what the skin looks like. This is with no powder, and this is with the Huda powder underneath the foundation. Forehead. Okay, now I've got both sides set with my under eye powder. I am now going to go in and take the GloWish powder and apply that under the eyes so that we can compare. Now I have done this before and I really enjoy how this looks, but I want to of course show it to you. Now of course keep in mind I have a darker shade of this GloWish powder. So it's gonna turn my under eye area a little bit dark. So now I have the GloWish, and that's just the Pat McGrath loose powder. And what I love about the GloWish is that it really brings light to my under eye area. My under eye area does not look dry whatsoever. It doesn't look like it's overly powdered, and it just looks really amazing actually. I really love it. Now I'm gonna apply the same GloWish powder on top of foundation so you can see what that looks like as well. So I'm gonna use the same brush first at the high point, so I'm just going to take that in. Now I'm not gonna bring it into the pore area, I'm going to keep it really at the back. So applying it anywhere but my enlarged pores. And I'm not going to apply it here either because that's where I tend to get texture. It does give a very nice luminosity to the skin. It will not make it dewy, but it definitely does give radiance. You see that? So look at that. That looks really beautiful. So a very subtle, luminous powder that looks really beautiful. You're going to be wearing a mask all day. This is perfect to give you that radiance without the stickiness or the dewiness. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed those demonstrations. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this powder? I definitely don't like using it as a powder foundation. It can work for me because it doesn't kind of exacerbate my oily areas or anything like that. I will get shiny throughout the day, but I won't get too greasy or too shiny. So in that respect, it works well. It's just, I wouldn't use it on my pore area. I wouldn't use it on my forehead. I just love using it on the sides of my face where I want that luminosity, and there it looks incredibly beautiful. I don't like using it with a damp beauty blender because it applies too much product, and then all of a sudden you just look like someone from the 80s who has this metallic sheen on their skin. Do you know what I mean? I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. See ya!